to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash, a bit weird.
And we're glad to have you today. There's a foot sticking out of my head. I just noticed that. Hello. Today is Wednesday the 13th of August, 2014, right? Is today the 13th? Okay. My days are all confused. And this is episode 101! Yay! Thanks to everybody who watched and commented last week on our 100th episode. It was a lot of fun, and here's to 100 more. Another 2 years. Yeah. All right, well, we would like to say a big welcome back. We love you. To all our returning viewers. And a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for checking us out. Hope you enjoyed the show. We have a gazillion people who have joined our group this week and introduced themselves. A gazillion. So, Damaris, why don't you shout out to them?
Tiger Knits, who is Tanya from South Carolina. Knitter Joe 2, who is Joanna from Lexington, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Francis NOJD, who is Francis from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Mm-hmm. Miss Anthropy Knits, who is Kate from Virginia.
Yes.
Eleanor Gamgee, who is Eleanor from Portugal.
Do you know where her name came from?
Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm. It's Lord of the Rings reference.
Bettina G1, who is Bettina from Georgia. Mm-hmm. Wound Up, who is Cheryl from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I used to live there.
Yes.
ALBUQUERQUE.
Naughty Grandma V, who is Michelle from Oregon. Apple Blossom SF, who is Sarah from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. CJ Bullion, who is Claire from Basingstoke in the UK.
I don't know.
Knit yes. People Knit, who is Tara from Sacramento, California. And NIMBY, who is Kaylee from Somerset, UK. So
hiya, all of y'all. Thanks for introducing yourselves this week. How do people get a shout out on the episode?
When they introduce themselves in our introduction thread in our Ravelry group.
Yep, so if you're not a member of the group, go join right now. And then introduce yourself in the introductions thread and we'll give you a shout out next week. We would like to say a big thank you, we love you, to Shirley Kaiser, who is Shirley, for her monetary donation to the podcast. So thank you so much. That helps take care of prizes and postage and business cards and badges and all that fun stuff that goes along with having a podcast. All right, well, we have quite a few things to talk about this week. Stay tuned to the end of the episode if you want a health update on me. That way, if you're not interested, you can just turn it off and not watch that part. Okay, so with everything we've got to do, I think we probably should get started. So here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on our needles and what's on our needles.
Because neither one of us have spinning projects this week. Okay, so Damaris, what is on your needles?
Beekeeper's quilts. I started it. And
Okay.
I've made three hexapuffs.
So these are actually FOs.
No, they're not.
3 FOs.
3 hexapuffs.
Okay, well, tell us about the pattern.
Everyone knows about the beekeeper's quilt.
Somebody might not know.
It's hexagons put together to make a quilt.
And who designed it?
Tiny Owl Knits, who's...
I don't know what her real name is. Stephanie, I think. What size needles are you doing it on?
US 4s, 3.5 millimeters.
Okay, and all these are out of the same yarn, even though they don't look like it.
Mine, the Gap.
By Trailing Clouds. But you're just going to keep adding the yarn to your project page as you do, because you're going to just do it all as one project, right? So you're going to take an individual picture of every single hexapuff?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So what size blanket are you planning to make?
I don't know.
3 down, 7 million to go? Something like that? And you're just lightly stuffing them, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, anything else you want to say about it?
Nope.
You have anything else on your needles?
No.
What are you going to put on your needles? Because you're not going to be monogamous with this, are you?
I don't know.
You have quite a few options. I'm thinking socks. With your, what's the one we bought while we were at Brighton?
Easy.
Yeah, with your Easy Knits, it's purple and green.
Mm-hmm.
Are you just going to do vanilla socks with it?
I don't know.
Okay. I think that's what you should cast on next. Maybe. Alright, so let's talk about what's on my needles now. A lot. I have so much stuff on my needles that I'm about to lose my mind and I'm about to cast on something else. Okay. So first up is the super secret project number 5 that's in here that I am designing the next 3 sock patterns for the Doctor Who Companion Sock Club 2nd edition that I'm doing with Julia of Pendius Jewels Yarn. So the first pattern is actually out with testers right now, and I'm just knitting the second sock of it because it's identical, so I'm just knitting the other one. Then I have another super secret project on the needles, number 6. I can show you the yarn for it though, or maybe I should wait and show it in Yummies because I just bought it this week. Okay, I'll show you the yarn in Yummies, but I'm doing a shawl design that is fabulous. I spent way too much time yesterday swatching and playing and finally got it to work out. So that's on my needles. And then next up is birthday socks for my friend Katie. This sock is a little bit too big for this mannequin foot, but you get the idea. So this is just a plain vanilla sock with the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And the yarn is Four Seasons Grundle Hot Socks print in the 517 colorway. And this is on US 1.5's 2.5 mil needles. And so the first one is done completely. And the second one, I think I am like 1 row away from putting the heel in. So that is making good progress. So, yeah. So I'm working on that. Here, have a foot. And then the last thing that I'm currently working on is my Endless Rainbow, which is a pattern by Martina Bem. It's all twisted up. Hold on just a second here. Okay. So it's got the triangles on the end. So I'm doing this on US 1.5's 2.5 mil needles. The pink is Sheep Dreamery Arundel in the Peony colorway. And the colorful, and it's got sparkle in it, I don't think the camera's picking it up though, is 5 Moons Artemis 4-ply in the Rainbow Nebula colorway. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 29 triangles done. The pattern that Martina did, I think she ended up with 34 triangles. I still have about half a skein of this left. So I'm just going to keep going until I run out of this. I know I'll end up with extra of this one because you don't use as much. But I'm just going to keep going until I can't do another repeat. So that's on the needles and I can't wait to wear it. Because it's just so gorgeous. So that's everything that is currently on my needles. So I guess we're ready to move on to the next segment. Oh, did you fix it?
Yeah.
How did you fix it? Oh, you pulled it up there. Okay. I'll talk more about the mannequin feet in Yummies. Okay, here we go.
And now we're going to talk about our finished projects.
So what have you finished this week, Damaris?
I finished a Luna Lovegood jewelry set for a friend.
Okay, why don't you show each piece closer up so they can see?
These are the earrings.
We haven't put on the hooks yet.
And necklace.
Okay.
And the ring.
The beetle ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you use a pattern for this stuff?
Look at my project page because it has the notes on what I did.
Okay, because there is a pattern for the radishes, right?
Yes.
But then you just did I-cord for the necklace and then you made up the pattern for the beetle.
Mm-hmm.
And what size needles did you use on all this?
US 1.5's 2.5 millimeters and US zeros.
Okay, and what yarn did you use?
King Cole, Merino Blend, 4-ply, and lots of colors.
It's on the show notes or on her project page if you want the details on that. So, so we just need to put the hooks on the earrings, right?
Yep.
Okay, did you finish anything else this week?
Yes.
What did you finish? Hold it closer so they can see the gorgeousness. Lovely. So what is this?
This is 100 grams of merino black diamond bamboo and trilobal nylon from Countess of Blaze in a Nightmare colorway.
Okay, and what weight did you end up with?
DK.
A DK weight of a 2-ply, right? Mm-hmm. And how many yards did you end up with?
256.7.
Oh, gee, that's a lot. That is a lot. Way to go. So, are you taking a spinning break since Tour de Fleece is over now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we both kind of are. So, okay, did you finish anything else this week?
No.
Okay. I just have one FO this week, and that's my preemie hat for the week. This is from my top-down preemie hat pattern. It's free on Ravelry, and this is hat number 20. I did it on US 6s, 4mm needles in the Hayfield bonus chunky yarn in the sunflower and aubergine colorway. So, that's the only thing I finished this week is just a preemie hat. Because I have too many things I have started on my needles. That's the problem. So, alright, well I guess we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for my favorite part of our show. Yummies! What are yummies, Mare?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. So let us start with the Doctor Who yummy goodness. So the BBC put out the official synopsis for the upcoming new series, episode 1, so 8.1. The episode's called Deep Breath. There's not really spoilers in this, because this is like what they would put like on the TV guide thing type thing. So, are you ready? Tamara said I have to read this. Is it because I read it so dramatically to you and Daddy?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. When the Doctor arrives in Victorian London, he finds a dinosaur rampant in the Thames and a spate of deadly, spontaneous combustions. Who is the new Doctor? And will Clara's friendship survive as they embark on a terrifying mission into the heart of an alien conspiracy? The Doctor has changed. It's time you knew him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then they've also put out a new trailer. It's like, it's about 30 seconds, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
So I put it in the show notes and got the dinosaur in it. But, how are you feeling about the fact that it's going to be a much darker Doctor?
I don't know.
Yeah. I read an interview with Peter Capaldi today and also one with Jenna Coleman, and they were talking about that the Doctor is much darker, this new Doctor. So, we shall see, I guess. Alright, I got a present in the mail this week from Rachel, who is Nunoidia on Ravelry, and she hosts a podcast, the Good Yarn Guide. It's a video podcast, and I really enjoy it. She was shopping the other day and found this and said it screamed CC, and so it had to come live with me. And I'm hugging it and loving it and calling it George. It is so soft. So, the company is Prick Your Finger. Mm-hmm. Do you get it? What is Sleeping Beauty? Yeah, I was like, I can't think what it is. And this is 50 grams of mixed fiber, merino, and silk. There's no colorway, but I'm like...
Maybe there's a colorway on the website.
I looked. I didn't see one. This has got a little bit of sparkle in it, too.
Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, I could call it Sleeping Beauty. Or George, because I'm hugging it and loving it and calling it George.
Briar Rose.
Aurora. Ooh, Aurora sounds nice.
Briar Rose.
Briar Rose.
She has 3 names.
I know. It's so lovely. Thank you so much, Rachel. You are so sweet. And I'm just going to keep hugging and loving it. I got new yarn this week, too.
You have to set that down to talk about it.
I do. So, I'm doing a new shawl design. I told y'all about that just a few minutes ago, that I was doing it. I'm looking for the labels so that I can show you. Here's actually what happened. So, my friend Claire, who's a designer and is in our knitting group and everything, she sent me a picture on Sunday from Ginger Twist Studio with 2 of Jess's hand-dyed skeins of yarn, like, wrapped around each other, and she said, these are screaming Cece, they need to come home with you and be a shawl. Well, I was already planning a new shawl design, and so it just worked out perfectly. So what I bought was, this is in her Splendor 4-ply base, and it's 100 grams, 400 meters of 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. This one is the Barba Papa colorway, and that means cotton candy in French. And this one is the Hot Fuzz colorway. So I am combining those two together to do a shawl design. And the really fun thing is going to be the fact that I am also going to do it in a DK weight. So it'll be one pattern for sale, but it will have both weights of give me George, don't stretch it.
Oh, not.
Let go. It'll have both weights as an option for the pattern. Isn't that fun? So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, if things work out good, and if I can get testers situated for it soon, that I can release it in the beginning of October, which is our birthday month, which would be fun. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I bought feet. They're plastic. And I have hopefully an upcoming project where I'm going to need to display some of my sock designs. And so that's why I bought them. I only bought one set because I wanted to make sure they were good quality and such. So mannequin feet came in the post yesterday. You could dance with them.
You got 2 left feet. They are left feet, actually.
I put my foot in my mouth. No, not really. That's gross. I'm not going to do that. But they're pretty awesome. They're pretty sturdy and everything, and I like how they show the 3-dimensional look of socks versus the traditional sock blockers are flat. So I probably will be ordering some more of these, actually, because they are what I was wanting. And they're pretty cool.
2 left feet.
They're actually 2.
There are 2 left feet.
I thought there was one right and one left.
Nope.
Oh, okay. 2 left feet, apparently. And I got George back. So there was a new pattern released today, not by either one of us, but that is Doctor Who related and is pretty awesome. I had seen it on Twitter this morning, but then I can't remember who was it, Andy, who posted it in the group? I don't know. There was a lot of new posts in the group this morning, and that was before my coffee. So do you want to talk about what the pattern is, or you want me to? Okay, so it's called Longer on the Inside, and it's done by Franklin Habit, and it's a shadow knitting scarf pattern. So it's reminiscent of the 4th Doctor's scarf, but there's the illusion of TARDISes knitted into it. It's really, really awesome. So I'm going to put a link to that in the show notes, because it's really cool. So, yeah, someday when I have extra 96 hours, I'll get right on knitting that. It'll be forever before I could ever attempt to do that. But I thought that was a really cool pattern, and I love the way that he did it, and I think it's really cool that he's a Doctor Who fan. Because you know what? The new series starts in a week and a half. Are you excited?
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Okay, is there any other Yummies before we get on to the next part of Yummies?
I don't think so.
Okay, so do you want to talk about GGK Crafty Pad?
Sure.
Sure. What's this theme this month?
Celebration.
Celebration. So what is GGK Crafty Pad?
You take a look at the day from our prompt list, and you post a photo related to it.
Yes. And where do you post it at?
Anywhere you want, but we pick our favorites from Instagram.
And you should hashtag it with hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. And so what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Yes. All right, so here come the photos. George is making my nose itch because he's so fluffy. So those were our favorite photos for this week. So it's never too late to join in. Just look at the prompts list. I don't know what today's prompt is. Finally, I think. I think today's list is finally. And you take a picture and you hashtag it. Hashtag UGK Crafty Pad. All right. Upcoming events that we will be attending. Do you want to talk about Mondays?
Sure. Every Monday we go to one of our local knitting groups, the Town Mouse Knitting Club.
Yes. So if they're ever in the area, they should come.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. Next Tuesday, this one, we are going to be attending Sweater Curse, a yarn about love. And this is part of the festival, the Fringe Festival that's going on right now in Edinburgh this month. And we'll be attending on Tuesday the 19th with some of the other knitters from our knitting group. So I'm looking forward to it. She has a traveling scarf that she asked the audience to knit on during the show. That's pretty cool. So, and then next up after that is Yarndale in Skipton. I'll be attending that with a bunch of people from our knitting group. And that's on Saturday the 27th of September at the Skipton Auction Mart. And we're working on a podcaster meetup. I need to check on that again and see if there's been an update. So we're working out the details on that if you're going to be there. And then finally, upcoming is the Edinburgh Yarn Festival on March 14th and 15th at the Edinburgh Corn Exchange. And that's all the upcoming events at this point in time. All right, well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
About what books we're reading and what TV we're watching.
Yep. So what are you reading, Mare?
I'm still reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Cool. How far are you?
I think I have 20% left.
Okay, so this is pretty good. You'll probably get it done before school starts then.
Yeah.
Because you just have, like a week and a half before school starts?
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're enjoying it?
Yes.
Cool. All right, I finished a book this week. I finished my nonfiction book number 12 for this year. So that means I have already met my goal of reading 12 nonfiction books this year. And it's only August. So yay me. So I finished reading Flunking Sainthood, A Year of Breaking the Sabbath, Forgetting to Pray and Still Loving My Neighbor by Jana Reese. And that was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. So the next nonfiction book I'm reading is called The Seasons on Henry's Farm, A Year of Food and Life on a Sustainable Farm by Tara Brockman. And I'm just a little ways into it, but it is really, really interesting. So it's about a family who has a sustainable farm, and the way it's laid out is in weeks. And so it's going to go the course of a whole year, so 52 weeks, and talks about things that happened on the farm. Like the first week it was talking about planting the garlic crop and the journey and the fact that the ground was too damp and they were worried that they were not going to be able to plant the garlic because there was only one window of opportunity to plant the garlic. And it's just really, really interesting. Like I said, I'm only just a smidge of the way into it, so that's what I'm reading nonfiction-wise. And then fiction-wise, I'm in the last book of the Wicked Years series by Gregory Maguire. I'm reading Out of Oz. And I think I only have maybe like 10% left. I'm really close to being done with it. So that is all the books we're reading. I'm not sure what I'm going to read next fiction-wise. I think I have another series waiting to be started, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. So I think will be what's next for Bookwise. So let's move on to TV. All right, so let's talk about TV. So the Hubs and I finished watching season 6 of The Mentalist. OMG. I didn't even tell you what happened.
No.
OMG. So, Lisbon was going to leave and go to DC with her boyfriend. Well, he became her fiance. He asked her to marry him. And Jane was upset about this. And he snuck onto the airport property and got onto the plane and professed his love to Lisbon as she was leaving to go to DC, and then he got arrested because he snuck into the airport. And we thought that Lisbon left, but she came back and she says that she loves him too, and they kissed, and oh, so sweet. I was like, oh my gosh. You're not being dramatically moved by my own God. Oh my gosh. I
don't watch this show.
I know you don't. So, it would have been a perfect ending for the whole show. But it's not the ending. Because they're coming back with season 7, but it's not going to be until mid-season. So it'll probably be like January or February would be my guess. So I'm interested to see where they're going to go with it now. And I really wish they would bring back Rigsby and Grace. Because they're gone.
They have a baby.
Yes, I know, but I really want them back. Because I like them. Okay. And so since the Hubs and I finished that, we have started watching White Collar Season 5. So that aired, I think, like end of last year and into this year. And we just hadn't watched it. Because we had watched all the way through Season 4, but we didn't watch Season 5 as it aired. So we are watching Season 5 as it airs. And I apparently...
You're not watching it as it airs?
No, we're not. I lied. We're watching Season 5 now, not as it airs. Because it's already aired. I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. But what I was going to say is it looks like that they're going to come back with a Season 6, but just make it a 6-episode thing. So I'm thinking it's going to be like the Psych thing where they're going to... That's going to be the end of the show.
That's on USA too.
I know. They haven't officially said that that's the last of the show, but it seems like it's going to be. It seems like, the last of these 6 episodes that it's going to come back with is going to be the end.
Isn't the guy from Stargate? You know.
Which guy?
Willie Grayson?
Is he in Stargate?
Isn't he Martin?
He is, I think. He was wearing funny wigs.
Oh. That sounds like something his character would do. I don't know his character's name. What's his character's name?
Something with an M.
Martin.
No. Mozzie?
Mozzie, that's it.
Is that it?
I
think so. And speaking of Stargate...
We finished rewatching Season 2 of SG-1, and now we're watching Season 3. We watched Stargate all day Sunday.
And we even went to church, and then we came back and we still watched a ton. Oh my gosh. I got so much knitting done that day. Because we marathoned 8 episodes of it or something. It was crazy.
Sheree!
I know. But they got back, what's his name? Skara.
I kept expecting something bad to happen the end of the episode. Surprise, no, everything is not gonna be fine. But everything's fine.
Everything is awesome. The Hubs and Damaris think it's quite humorous because every time there is a moment where Sam and Jack are talking to each other or something dramatic is happening, I do a voiceover and I'm like, but I can't leave because I love you so much.
And then we can't hear what they're actually saying.
It's really funny. Really funny. It's really funny. I love you, Sam.
I don't know how we're going to get through Window of Opportunity because...
Oh, that's my favorite episode ever.
I have no idea how we're going to get through it. Because she'll just be like...
I have to rewind a lot.
That's what she'll be doing. She'll be like...
I love that episode. It's next season. It's in season 4. That's my favorite episode.
Wacko!
It's so funny. Anything else you want to say about Stargate?
Wacko!
Yes, I know. So we're rewatching Gilmore Girls as well. We finished season 1 and now we're watching season 2. You want to say anything about Gilmore Girls? I love that show.
No.
Jess is there. Jess came. Okay, so so we watched the episode yesterday. I don't remember what the episode's called.
What episode?
When Jess arrives in
I
Stars
don't know.
Hollow. Anyway, the episode where Jess arrives in Stars Hollow, and he walks out of the diner and he's looking at Stars Hollow, and the music is I don't know who sings it, but it's the song "This Is Hell, This Is Hell," but it's very happy music, but it's singing "This Is Hell." And then we were watching Stargate last night, and it was the 2-parter episode in season 2 where they
Season 3.
I mean, yeah, season.
They're on Me Too.
Where they go to Sokar, which is hell, and so they
Sokar is the gold. Me Too.
Okay.
The planet.
Anyway, it's hell is what it is, and so they're going there, and I started singing it
right in the middle of a very serious scene. She just starts singing.
This is hell. This is hell.
And we had to pause it because we were laughing like 5.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny, and the Hubs was just looking at us like, "What in the world are y'all doing?" It was so funny. So funny. I love Gilmore Girls. It's so funny. So funny. You want to talk about the next one?
Sure. We're still watching season 1 of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman.
So this is the first time you've ever seen it.
Yes.
But I've seen it already.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? Anything you want to say about what we watched this week? I take that as a no. I love the show. I think they're about to start dating. Coming up
But
soon.
you said that it wasn't until season 2.
Oh, maybe so. I don't remember. Well, we're quite a ways into season 1. We should be coming up on season 2 soon. I think. I like this show. It's so fun. Do you like it?
I don't know. It's just a thing.
It's just a thing.
There and just yeah. Yeah.
Fun. It's fun. I love it.
It is so ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. That's very true.
Mm.
So while Damaris is pondering the ridiculousness, the Hubs and I are watching Covert Affairs Season 5 as it airs. We have both determined that this probably is going to be the last season of it, in our opinion, because it's really...
That's on USA too.
Yeah. It is.
Everything on USA is getting canceled.
It hasn't been announced that it's going to be canceled, but I think they have kind of pushed it as far as it can go. So, and then we're also watching Season 3 of Unforgettable as it airs, which is fun. Did you know that Poppy Montgomery's pregnant, and she doesn't even look pregnant in the show?
Who?
The main character. I don't know what her name is, I can't think of it. The one that doesn't forget anything.
I didn't know that.
It was on Facebook yesterday. Anyway. And then I started a new series. I am watching Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries, which is an Australian TV show set in the 1920s. It kind of reminds me of Agatha Christie's Marple or Poirot in topic, because she's the main character and she's solving murder mysteries. But we have the background of it being the 1920s and jazz and all that such. And it's really kind of fun. I think I've watched the first 3 episodes. So I'm enjoying that. I'm watching that. And then we watched a movie yesterday.
Aladdin.
Yeah. After we heard about the news about Robin Williams, which is so, so sad. We really love his movies. I'm glad that we watched it post Society this summer for you to see it. So, but Aladdin is by far our favorite Robin Williams film. And so, you and I watched it yesterday. And we sang the songs and recited a lot of the words. It's such a fun movie, so. And then I haven't watched a new episode of Outlander this week because I had already watched episode 1, because they put it up on the internet a week early. So I'd already...
So I watched season 1, guys. Ask her how.
No, I have not. I've watched episode 1. But episode 2, Castle Leoch, I believe is how you say it, is on this Saturday, the 16th, and I will be watching that. That's all the TV. We've watched a lot of TV, but it was mainly Stargate. All right, well, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. Now it is time to talk about cows. First up is summertime and the living is easy, cow. So you only have about, I'm trying to do math in my head.
5 more minutes.
No, not 5 more minutes. About 2.5 weeks to go on this, because it ends the end of August. So, this started June the 1st and runs through August 31st, and it's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is related to summertime. And we're cheater friendly. So if you can't think of anything else, you crafted it in the summer. And you can enter more than one entry. Anything that you started June 1st or later and you finish by August 31st, you can enter. So please enter multiple times. That's totally fine with us. And you can double dip in other cows because that's fine. We approve. So we have 4 prizes as of this moment. We have 2 prizes of coupon codes for a pattern from my Ravelry pattern store that were donated by Christy Ray, who is Christy. We also have a prize of an up to $10 US pattern from Ravelry donated by Leaner, who is Eileen. And then we also have something from our bag of prizes. So we had quite a few people finish projects this week. I think we're up in the 200s now. Number of projects finished, which is a lot. That's great, y'all. So do you want to give shout-outs to everybody who finished this week?
Sure.
Okay.
Andy ×3, Angie's Hip ×3, Anne Fran 25, Crafty Nelly, Ayana ×3, Knittin' Wolf, Elle McCall, Loney Hiker, Lupinone's Jacob, Mad 79 ×6, Mimi Teacher, Phoenix Fire, and Saratoga Knitting.
So great job, y'all. Yay. So get to working on those projects and get them finished up. You have about 2.5 weeks left on that cow. All right, on to the next cow. So next up, we have the Outlander cow that I am co-hosting with Jasmine and Gigi from the Knitmore Girls, Maria from Subway Knits, and Kristen from Yarngasm Podcast. Oh, I didn't put in the alert when I was talking about Outlander and TV. This is not a child-friendly show. It's adults. The books either. They're not child-friendly. Adults. Okay? So this is an Instagram cow. And you just have to tie your projects somehow to Outlander. And there's going to be prizes at the mid-season break as well as at the end of season 1, which will be sometime next year. And the hashtags for it are hashtag Countdown to Outlander and hashtag Kilt Me Now Cow. There's a thread in our group for questions or planning or encouraging each other. And I'm pretty sure there's threads in the other groups as well. So one of the prizes that I am doing was donated by Jess of Ginger Twist Studio. And it's actually right here because this one's mine. It is a skein of her sheepish sock base in the J. Supri colorway, which means I am ready. And it's 100 grams, 365 meters of 80% superwash BFL and 20% nylon. She has sold out of this because y'all love it so much. But she is going to be dyeing more. She's going to be in the dye studio the 26th, I believe. Is that a Tuesday? Not 2 weeks from yesterday, she'll be in the dye studio to dye some more. So, I will, Demara's stealing my stuff. I will make sure and post an announcement when she has it up for sale again, because I know some of y'all want it. So, I have not cast on my project yet, but Jess did cake mine up for me. I took it into the shop this week and had her cake it up. And Pocket Jamie approves. Isn't that fun? Pocket Jamie. I took Jess a Pocket Jamie to say thank you for scheming my yarn for me. Pocket Jamie. If you want your very own Pocket Jamie, who has his own hashtag Pocket Jamie, you can get it from the Stars website. It's a PDF download to print. Isn't he fun? Hello. I like my yarn. So that is the Outlander Cal. So you just have to convince us it's related to Outlander somehow to participate. All right, I think we're ready for the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us a question and we answer it.
We had very good feedback for our reintroductions last week that we did on the 100th episode. So that was fun. So maybe we will just like reintroduce ourselves
every 100 episodes.
Every 100 episodes, or maybe every 50, because that would be like once a year. So that was fun.
What if not much has changed in the course of a year?
Well, but some people may have just found the podcast and don't have time to go back and watch that catalog of 100 plus episodes. So that helps them get to know who we are. So maybe we'll just do that. We'll see. Okay, but we do have a question this week. So who asked it and what's the question, Mare?
My Word and Stitch, who is Hannah from Huddersfield, United Kingdom, asks, if you could give me one piece of advice about spinning apart from practice every day, what would it be? Also, what's your favorite fibers to spin with?
Okay, well, let's start with the first one about the piece of advice about spinning. So okay, and we only have experience with drop spindling. We've never spun on a wheel. So our advice is coming to you from that viewpoint. I would highly recommend the book Respect the Spindle, Respect the Spindle by Abby Francomont, and I will link it in the show notes. It is a fantabulous book with it talks about the history of drop spindling, but then talks about technique and such, and has really good images and directions and such. So I would highly recommend that you get your hands on a copy of Respect the Spindle and read it. What was your advice?
Be a tortoise.
Like Clyde?
Do it. Be a tortoise.
Okay.
And then spin all your yarn.
Okay, now.
After you've turned into a tortoise.
What do you mean by be a tortoise?
Slow. Be slow. Don't try to spin like 10 grams in one day, especially if you're doing it on a drop spindle.
So just
take it slowly.
Because it's about muscle memory and training your muscles to be able to spin. And if you overdo it one day, you're not going to have you're not giving your muscles enough time to acclimate. So take it slow. Anything else you want to say about suggestions? Okay, or advice, I mean. Okay, so what is your favorite fiber to spin with? What has been your favorite fiber so far to spin with?
This one.
The one that you just finished, and what was it?
It was merino wool, black diamond bamboo, and trilobal nylon.
And it was easy to spin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think of what I have spun thus far, my favorite would be that one that Damaris is pointing to, the pink one right there. It was 50% Tussa Silk and 50% Baby Camel with Angelina Sparkle in it. And it was just so soft and so easy to draft. Because one of the, I can't remember what it was that I spun.
Please.
No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about another spin that I had done previous to that. I can't remember what the fiber content was, but it was very difficult to draft, and so it made it very hard to spin. But these were Poonies from Ellie's Knits Insanity. Knit Insanity. I think that's right. On Etsy. She's here in the UK, but she had done Poonies of the Tussa Silk and Baby Camel and Angelina Sparkle, and they were just a dream to work with. I knit them. I spun them during the Ravelinics, and really, really enjoyed that. So that's been my favorite to spin with. I'm really looking forward to spinning George and what's that one called? Spin City, but what was the colorway? Something garden. I I can't think what it is. Anyway, it's an art bat. It's the one I got from Unwind Brighton. It is right there.
I think it's
that one. I'm looking forward to spinning them because they're really, really soft.
Moroccan Rose.
Oh, I think that's right. I think
in the garden.
English garden.
No, garden. Just garden grouping.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking forward to spinning both of those because they are both so soft, and I'm really interested to see how they spin. I'm also interested to spin
everything in the world.
Yes, everything in the world. The silk hankies that Kirsten gave us. Just because it's something different that we haven't done before, so I'm excited to try to spin those. But we're on a kind of a spinning hiatus right now because we got burnt out during Tour de Fleece because we were spinning so much. So we're taking a wee break. Okay, anything else you want to say about spinning?
Nope.
I really would love to have an e-spinner, a mini spinner, but that's not in the budget right now. So I will continue with my mini Turkish drop spindle after my spinning hiatus is over. Okay, what if someone has a question for us? What should they do?
You should go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
Yep, and we will just go through and answer them as they came. We had almost run out of questions, but there was a few posted last week. So if you have questions, please post them so that we have new content to continue on with in upcoming episodes. All right, I think we're ready for the next segment. All right, we are to the end of the show. Announcement, just a reminder about the retreat, the fiber retreat that our friend Anna from Toil and Trouble Yarns is hosting. It is going to be in New Hampshire at the lodges at
Tacomapog.
That's what she says. I don't know if that's right, but that's what we say. And it's in May 2015. There's a link in the show notes if you're interested in that. I'm one of the sponsors for the retreat. So I know it's filling up. So if you're interested, you should go check that out and get signed up. Okay, let's talk health for a second. So today we're actually recording later than we normally do on a Wednesday because I had a appointment at the pain clinic with the specialist nurse who is in charge of medications for chronic pain patients. And I really, really, really liked her. The hubs went in with me to talk to her, and he and I had talked beforehand about what we wanted to talk to her about and what kind of medication, what things we wanted to deal with medications. And when we got in to talk to her, she was suggesting medications for the exact same aspects that we had previously talked about, he and I. So that was really good, that we were kind of all on the same wavelength. She doesn't want to do more than one new medication at a time, just in case there are any complications. That way we know what's causing them, versus, you know, if she starts doing 2 or 3 new medications and there's a problem, we don't know which one caused it. So that's pretty smart. So I appreciate that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go off one of the medications I'm currently on and go on another medication that is stronger than what I'm taking right now. And what she's going to give me has both a long-acting version and a fast-acting version. And so she's going to give me both so that I take the long-acting one regularly morning and night or whatever, but I have the fast-acting one to take for flares, which has been a problem because I haven't had, the other medication I was on, I was at the highest dosage, so when I had a flare, there was nothing I could do, there was nothing more I could take. So that's what she's going to do. And actually the way things work here for us is she's recommending this, so she writes a letter to my GP and then he will prescribe them. That way all the medications I'm getting are being prescribed by one doctor, and that way we don't have this doctor's doing this and this doctor's doing this, and then the possibility of complications from one doctor not knowing what another doctor's doing. So so she's writing him a letter. So hopefully I'll be able to start on the new medication by early next week at the latest. And then I have another appointment to see her again in September. And if this first medication is doing what it needs to do, then we will move on and add the next one she wants to put in to the puzzle to deal with, because we're having to do different medications for different parts of the disease. So that's the plan. She said that I should be able to see a difference fairly quickly after I start this new medication. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will really help and I won't have major side effects, problems, or anything. And that way we can move on to the next part when I go back and see her. So that was health. So we're moving forward and I'm feeling really positive. I was kind of nervous going into this appointment, but I'm feeling really positive and hopefully everything's going to go smoothly. I guess that's everything other than our closing stuff. So just a reminder that we are Amazon affiliates, and so if you go to our show notes webpage, you can click on any of the movies and books and TV that we talk about, our Amazon links, but there's also Amazon links on the website, and if you click those and go through to shop on Amazon, we get a portion of what you spend back as affiliates, and that just helps us support the podcast to pay for postage and prizes and business cards and badges and all that kinds of stuff. So I know several things were purchased this week after we mentioned it again last week. So thank you to those of you who clicked through to shop on Amazon through our links. We appreciate you very much. So I think that's it. So Damaris, why don't you tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.blogspot.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
Yes. And with that, I think we are done with episode 101. So we will say goodbye. Hope y'all have a great rest of your week. Happy knitting, and we'll see you next week. Bye.